Welcome to Graybo's Giblets. We are Gray Burnett, Ryan Fitz, and Duke Dotson. We own a sports car shop called Graybo Sports Cards and a sports bar called Parlay in Richmond, Virginia. We know you don't have 40 hours per week to pour over podcasts and spreadsheets, but you want to get in on the action, so we do the work for you. We bring you 30-minute giblets each week so you can feel good heading up to the window and into the weekend. We are the crossroads of sports lovers, fantasy heads, sports betting, and sports cards. We're out here dropping giblets for the people, and today is week 3 of college football. We're here with Fitz. We're here with Denny one time. What's up, boys? We ready to get into it?
Hey, Graybo. Great intro.
Thank you. I only mess it up, once or twice before we get the right thing down.
I'm proud of you.
I think you did fine.
Thank you. I wish we could just, record it and put it in there, but I never get it right, so we have to do it live. Every time. All right, so we are getting into college football week 3, and we're now going to start off the show with a little something different that we think is hilarious because it happens every week. We're starting out with a new segment called Fitz's Bad Beats. Because they're classic. They're classic in golf. They're classic in college basketball. But they're especially classic in college football in the NFL as well. So, Fitz, did we have a bad beat this week?
We had a couple.
Okay.
On the podcast, obviously, there was some disagreement on the SMU-Baylor game where I was pretty adamant about SMU. That was my best bet of the week, too. So they... Obviously, if you watched, they blew a 2-touchdown lead late in the fourth quarter. Still had a chance to win it. I still blame the refs. You have to find a crutch somewhere, right? You have to blame somebody other than yourself. And it'll be the officiating crew who had the late hit call with targeting, decided it wasn't targeting, and then picked up the late hit flag, which I've never seen done before, ever.
Yeah.
He still would have had to make, a 40-yard field goal. So it wasn't like they were going to win, but they certainly had a chance to win.
Yeah.
So congrats, Denny, on hitting the Baylor.
They didn't even, talk about it much.
No.
I watched the play. The defender did almost nothing wrong.
Right.
Because he literally launched before the quarterback slid.
Yeah.
So he launched at what would be his knees, and the quarterback slid, and they came close to head-to-head or whatever. So I was mad that they called targeting, but it was a defenseless receiver.
Yeah,
I think, it was supposed to late hit.
I think they maybe didn't call the late hit technically.
Right.
So I think they maybe only somehow called targeting.
Yeah.
And so when they picked it up, there was no other penalty to assess.
I assumed there was no targeting.
It was definitely not targeting. So I was
you're not ejected, but it's still 15 yards is what I thought too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I guess for the podcast we had UConn at 7. They were covering all game. They forced overtime, and then you almost never lose by 7. Once you get to overtime, you feel pretty good about that, right? Because you feel like you're either going to kick a field goal first and then give up a touchdown and lose, or you get to the third overtime when it starts going 2-point conversions?
Yeah, 2-point conversions.
So to lose by 7, that was around the number. So we pushed, but a ton of people, including me and other pools, had UConn plus 6.5.
And so
I've definitely lost on that one a bunch.
Yeah, that's where I come in because I had UConn at plus money at plus 6.5. And it felt really good. I mean, they're winning. Looking at it, they were winning into the fourth quarter. I think it was a 96% chance of winning was the expectancy. And Syracuse comes back, takes the lead. UConn, all right, Syracuse is up 3, right? And you're still like, all right, UConn still, it sucks they're going to lose, but UConn's still going to cover this. And on a 3rd and forever, the quarterback throws a ball that only the best UConn receiver can catch, and guess what? He caught it. It was an unbelievable catch, but you're going, damn it, because now they kick a field goal to force overtime, and exactly what you thought was going to happen, because you know that bad beat is going to happen, is Syracuse wins by a touchdown, and that was my second worst beat of the weekend. I was on SMU with Fitz, but good thing I had the over. I didn't bet SMU. I bet the over. And I love when you bet the over on both FanDuel and DraftKings, not knowing that you bet one or the other. And those are the good bets. You always take that, so I did that. But the Rutgers, Miami, Ohio wasn't really a bad. I mean, it was a bad beat for me, but it wasn't even close. They covered the over in the third quarter. I'm getting text from Denny.
Yeah, Duke was insufferable on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm getting text from Denny. Oh, Ohio 76-yard touchdown. So congratulations, Denny. But for the record,
We don't mean it.
For the record, you better tell the podcast what you really meant.
I'm happy
As
to
your
get.
lot.
I'm happy to get to that once.
Okay.
I think it's reasonable to get a formal apology on the pod. I think it's reasonable.
I'm sorry.
On the pod,
Right.
your exact words. Well, it's not that I won the bet. It's like your exact words were, "This might be the worst pick in the history of the podcast," and then you accused me of not taking the podcast seriously.
I don't know. Did I say that?
I think you did say
run
that.
it
the
back.
tape back. Can I disagree with you?
Yeah.
I think that's the worst pick of the year.
But I also
Run
doubled
the
down
tape
on
back.
it and said that was not the worst pick. The SMU pick or your Baylor pick was worse. Gray, I just disagree with you about that being the worst pick ever because Duke already made the worst pick ever, and it was Baylor. So we really looked dumb.
Yeah. Well,
Me and Fitz look really dumb.
you
right
guys
now.
were. I
Denny
loved
looks-
it. I was feeling it because y'all were crying about Syracuse. You were crying about SMU, and then I saw Miami, Ohio, and Rutgers just putting up points. They covered the over in the third quarter. Rutgers almost covered
By
the
itself.
over and under by themselves.
And that's kind of what I thought. Like, I didn't think Miami, Ohio was going to score on Rutgers. They did score 17 points. They had that long 76-yard rushing touchdown. Rutgers' offense is like Bizarro World. Looks really good. Like, their offense is actually pretty good. I think will give teams fits. And their defense is not very good. So I don't know what's going on there. If they can figure out the defense, they're going to have a good little team. So, Denny, I am sorry. You had a good week.
And yes, and so I will admit that I actually kind of like the Ohio West Virginia game over better, and I meant to put that one in, but then I put in Miami, Ohio.
incredible.
But then I just stuck to my guns. So
in West Virginia, Ohio was 17-10.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. So I would have lost that one. So hey,
Perfect. So Denny was the only one that hit his lock, and we'll talk about that later on the show. Did you have any bad beats, Denny, on this segment?
I wouldn't call them bad beats. I would say I was not very happy with Kansas. They had the lead towards the end, and they gave up 2 late touchdowns. I was very disappointed in Cincinnati. They played that game 100 times. They covered 70 times, and they just couldn't get it done. And then San Diego State laid an egg. That one really hurt me. And cover 5 and on this pod.
I am 2-8 in cover 5, and both my wins are teams that beat up on Stanford. I've been bad. All right. Anyways, moving on. We have another new segment, and it's real quick. Just recapping our bets that we've won and bets that we've lost. And these are the actual bets that we, put in the app or put our money on. And so for me, I had wins. SMU and Baylor over. It was nice to hit that, but it went into overtime. Would have hit it anyways. And I bet it twice, which was nice. Mississippi State plus 6.5. What a game.
Outright.
Yeah. Outright win against Arizona State. That was probably my favorite game to watch because not only you hit the bet, but it was a good game. Scored that late touchdown in the end.
Did you text your close personal friend Brandon Walker?
I was watching his video. I was liking his videos where he's telling his son, "Come hug me, come hug me." I had Fresno State money line. They were dogs. They beat Oregon State. And my losses, I actually like the West Virginia, Ohio over. So if you would have put that one, I would have been like, okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That did not cover. Cincinnati, my lock, minus 20.5. They go up 21-0 in the first 5 minutes. They were my cover 5 lock. And then they just made Bowling Green's quarterback look like a Heisman hopeful. I think he completed 20 passes in a row, completions, 20 for 20. And Cincinnati just... Their defense, their secondary was horrendous and only win 34-17. They just going through the motions. Duke plus 3, 5 turnovers. Like, you're going to lose. And then UConn plus 6.5, bad beats. So, overall, I think I broke even because I had some better numbers with, like, Fresno State money line and stuff. But not the best week for me. Duke, what about you?
I mentioned my losses. Obviously, the Miami-Rutgers game was the highlight of the weekend. Had that one circled on the schedule. And then my other favorite win was the Baylor miracle cover. Down 14 with 6 minutes to go to win in overtime. It was a joy. So that was my 2 highlights of the week.
Nice. Fitz, did you put money down in actual games, or did you just cover 5 and
Only because of the podcast before Thursday night, which we'll get into later, why I didn't bet as much this weekend. But I did have SMU. Did not hit for me, but the over did. We talked about that.
Yeah.
That was a monster number, too. Remember, that was like 67?
65 and a half,
Yeah.
I think we got, but it probably moved to 67 pre-game.
That was fun.
I
Love
love
betting.
that. It was a shootout.
Should have been 90.
Two
Yeah.
horrible defenses. Both those teams are horrible
They
at
play
defense.
so fast, too. So it's
And
a
they're fast.
recipe for success.
All right, excellent. So let's get into the board, gentlemen. We have our 5 games that we're going to talk about this year, and we instead of all picking different games, we're going to go head-to-head with each other. I think it's more fun and pick these 5. And so the first game is where College Game Day is going to. It's usually the best game of the weekend. And for this weekend, you can argue it, but this is a really good game. We have number 6, the Georgia Bulldogs. Parlay. Shout out Parlay, Georgia Bulldogs, home of the Georgia Bulldogs. We're a Georgia bar. At number 15, Tennessee in Knoxville. And Tennessee is home dogs at 3.5. It's moved from 4.5 to 3.5. So let's start with Denny. Who do you like here for your pick?
It's interesting spot and spread. Tennessee looking good so far this year, kind of surprising some people. At home, getting 3 and a hook. The line stinks a bit. Georgia did not look that impressive last week. But, did not put up many points against Austin Peay. But I'm going to go. I'm going to take Georgia minus 3.5. To me, it's like Kirby over Heupel kind of play. It's when the line stinks like that for a reason, I think. And I'm not betting against the Bulldogs here.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And I forgot to mention Duke went. Let's just do previous records last week. Duke's 2-1-2. I am 1-2-2. I think my only win was the Sooners. Fitz is 2-1-2. So we had Fitz. You had 2 pushes. Yeah,
We all had 2 pushes.
Oh yeah, Iowa State, UConn, Syracuse. We all had 2 pushes.
Yep.
And then South. We'll talk about South Florida. All right, so let's continue. Fitz, how about you? Denny's taking Georgia minus 3.5. Where are you going?
I'm going to go with the Dogs. Tennessee's down both their corners. I don't think they played last week either. And we're a Georgia bar. So
We are a
gotta
Georgia
go with
bar.
the Dogs.
Gosh, I mean, that's all I'm going to say. I just feel comfortable with Georgia. Like Duke said, I'm comfortable with Kirby Smart. I think they didn't show anything against Austin Peay.
Yeah.
I think they just were, practicing things they needed to practice on. They didn't want to show anything on tape for Tennessee. The hard part is they are going to Knoxville. It's going to be rowdy. But like I said, if you listen to the preview pod, I think Tennessee is highly overrated this year. I think Georgia goes in. I think it's going to be close. I think Georgia takes it by a touchdown. So I'm going to take the Dogs. We are a Georgia bar, and I just feel like it's a home game. When you come to this bar, you can't be rooting against Tennessee.
It's uncivilized.
Rooting against Georgia. So going Georgia. We're on Georgia there. All right. So then the next one, our next game is always the best game of the week, other than College Game Day, and that is number 16 Texas A&M, who are going to Notre Dame this year. Notre Dame is number 8, and Notre Dame, it moved from -7 and is now -6.5. So Notre Dame is -6.5 at home. Let's start with Fitz. This was a great game last year to start college football season where Notre Dame won. Can the Aggies come in and upset Notre Dame, Fitz?
No. I don't think so. I like Notre Dame in this spot
So confident.
here. Yeah, I think they look good against Miami. So they're coming off of a bye, so they've had time to prepare for A&M. They're at home. A&M hasn't covered either one of the first 2 games, and they were against not very good opponents. So I'm not feeling the Aggies right now, and I think the Irish get right here.
Wouldn't you just run through a wall for Marcus Freeman?
So that's the thing I was telling you about this. Like, I do not. I think I don't know if it's a tech thing. I think a lot of the country grew up either you love Notre Dame or you really don't like Notre Dame. And my dad didn't like Notre Dame, so I didn't like Notre Dame.
Right,
and I've kind of carried that over for no reason really whatsoever. But I love Marcus Freeman. But I still find myself kind of like I was definitely rooting for Miami last or 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I love Marcus Freeman, and I think he's a great coach, and he'll have him ready.
He just has his players ready to
Yep.
go. They want to play for him so hard. So, Denny, are you with Notre Dame? Are you taking the points with A&M?
I'm going to take the points, A&M. So I think it's going to be a great game. I don't love either side of this, to be honest with you. I'm probably not betting it. I'm just picking it for this pod. I like both coaches. I think Elko is a great X's and O's guy and gets the most out of his guys, and he needs to play well here. Freeman obviously does too, but I see it being like a field goal game either way. So I will definitely take the 6.5 here.
Yeah, not betting this whatsoever. I'm with you. Could go either way, but I've always been a homer for Texas A&M, and they've always screwed me. So I'm going to take Notre Dame minus 6.5 to count towards my record here at home. Great defense. A&M's defense gave up 22 points to Utah State, so I'm still bitter about that because I had A&M in cover 5, and they lost me points. So I'm going to go Notre Dame. So that's 2 for Notre Dame, 1 for A&M. Let's move on to the game number 3. This is the G5 game of the week, gentlemen. And guess who's back in the G5 game of the week? South Florida goes down to the swamp and upsets Florida. They now have beat ranked Boise State. They have now beat ranked Florida. Now they play number 5, Miami of Florida. They're now ranked, and they should be. They're number 18. But Miami is minus 17.5 and catching steam. This was minus 16.5. If South Florida can win this one, not only are they in the driver's seat for the G5 playoff, but they're in the driver's seat for a top 4 bye. In my opinion, if they can win the American, I used the boost on FanDuel, got South Florida at plus 750 to win the American this week. So I'm happy about that. I did it before the Florida game, and now I'm really excited. Just nobody get hurt. So I'll start with this one. With that being said, I think it is a letdown game. Miami's coming off a bye. They're healthy. They're going to be ready. I think this might be a blowout, to be honest with you. I think Miami is really, really good on both sides of the ball. Carson Beck is going to do what he needs to do, not turn it over. They're going to run the ball, and their defense is going to get it done. If they just can stop South Florida's quarterback on third down and at quarterback spy them, I think Miami, Florida rolls here, in my opinion. How about you, Fitz?
I concur. Everything you just said, yeah, coming off the bye, I think it's a bad spot for the Bulls after 2 amazing upsets. Yeah, I don't see them hanging with them. I think this one, I think they could maybe keep it close like first half, and then they just kind of run out of steam. They got to be tired.
Got to be tired.
Gotta be.
I mean, that game against Florida was a bloodbath.
It was awesome.
They put their heart and soul into that game. I think they're a little beat up. Miami is just going to be healthier, stronger.
If they're close near the end, I'll be rooting for them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, my
gosh.
gosh.
Great story. But
great story.
I don't think they hang with
Because
them.
they beat Miami of Florida and then go undefeated. They beat number 2 in the country. They beat 3 ranked teams. Seriously.
I mean,
And they shouldn't. They're probably not, but let's say you, Denny. What say you?
So I looked at the show notes and I saw a bad spot for the Bulls coming off the 2 wins and Miami on a bye week. I agree. Terrible spot on the road after that. So then I hadn't seen the line yet. So I was before I was like, what would I have the line to be to bet Miami? And I was like, 14 or less. I'm taking Miami. What would I need the line to be to bet South Florida? And it was exactly 17.5 is what I needed. So I agree with everything y'all said. And I think it's a terrible spot. So I'm probably not going to bet it in real life. But 17.5 is a lot of points. Beating one ranked team could be a fluke. Beating back-to-back, I think there's something there in South Florida. We've seen Carson Beck play well for Miami. We've seen him play not so well. So he played well against Notre Dame. Great. That's one game. Let's see. Can he keep doing it? I don't know. Can Cristobal screw it up somehow? Yeah. So if you put a gun to my head and I got to pick this game, I'll take the 17.5. I wouldn't take it a half a point less, though.
I did put a bet on this game. I got Miami. I had to look at my phone.
Did you get 16.5? Yeah, that's better.
I got Miami at minus 16.5. I
Yeah.
put it in, so I will be putting money on this game. This is one.
But this is not one I would do in cover 5 ever.
Ever.
Because
I agree.
South Florida could keep it close, or Miami. Y'all right? Miami could blow them out. So
Yeah.
it's a too high risk game for me for cover 5.
All right. So Denny's on the island in 2 games already. Me and Fitz.
What's
are.
new?
What's new? What's new? Should we do a little friendly wager? You're coming over to the house to watch that one with the kids.
17.5. Is that the line for our wager?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'm a man.
You're going out to the Ville?
Yeah, you want to come?
Going out to the Ville.
Our
with the
wives,
kids.
our
I got-
wives
You
are
want
out
to
of
bring
town.
Max?
I have a T-ball game.
Then bring
Smack
Max.
dab in the middle.
At
Middle
three-
of
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh, wait. You don't know what time is your T-ball game?
It's either at like 1 or 3.
Oh,
it's
man.
like
Well, if it's at
Right.
1, then come over after because I'm going over there at 3:30.
Fitz,
Okay, yeah, I can do that after.
Fitz had to be the manager. How did it go?
It went okay.
Were you very
It
authoritative?
was like so these kids are 4.
Uh-huh.
Okay, they are 6 weeks out of like playing what they call bubble ball, where they hit the ball and carry the bat and run to the mob, and everyone's just a mess. And now they want them like with metal bats and helmets and throwing the ball to bases. Like, this is outrageous. So we had like a 30-minute practice, which is way too long, and then an hour and 15-minute game. And me and the other coach were like, after it was 4. We got through 4 innings. I had 11 kids. In the 4th inning, I had 4 kids in the field. 7 kids were either in the outfield, over the fence, in the dugout. Several were crying.
This is unbelievable.
Max was one of them.
This is
getting in a
unbelievable.
fight in the dugout over a helmet. It was awesome. What was the question?
Okay, you're coming over to
Yeah, I'll be
Question is,
there
how much
after.
money did you
I'll
spend
be there.
on a glove, helmet, and
It
bat?
was about $125 for
Okay.
everything.
When
It's-
Tripp was that age, he really wanted like all the equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
He didn't want to play, but he's
Yeah,
going
he
to
wants
play.
to look nice.
So he's like, "Can I get batting gloves?" I just bought him a DeMarini bat and a bat bag, and he's like 4, right? He goes out. I go like, "You want batting gloves?" I was like, "Look, if you put one ball in play, this is coach pitch, right? If you put one ball in play, I'll get you batting gloves." So his first at bat, puts it in play. I get him batting gloves. He went 0 for the rest of the season.
And that's what we call a bad beat.
Yeah.
That's what we call a bad beat. Well, I just want to picture you coaching. I love it. I love it. I love that you're out there.
That's the scariest age of children
was,
to coach,
yeah.
by the way.
I will. My son will be playing baseball in the spring. I did not sign him up for fall ball.
Coach Swope is back this week, though. So
that's what I wanted
I'm
to
back
mention.
to I'm
Coach
back to
Swope,
assistant.
Coach
Oh,
Swope.
Tyler's a coach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Guess where he was? He was at the Eagles game,
Yes,
getting
he was.
drunk,
Yes, he was.
Probably.
missing his first game.
Yeah.
Shout out Coach Swope.
Shout out Swopes.
Both
All the
Swopes. Yeah. All the Swopes. Love
Good
them.
family.
Go
Great
Eagles.
family.
Great family. Hope you listen to this podcast. All right. So let's get into the fourth one. The grudge match is the fourth game that we pick. It's usually out of conference or best rivalry. And we got another. I love that we're doing rivalries so close. Like you had Iowa State. That game was exactly what you pictured it would be. A push. 3 points, Iowa State
Yeah.
wins.
An
Boring
awkward
offense.
score,
The
and
Iowa
lack of
quarterback is
touchdowns.
horrendous.
Yeah.
It was perfect. Perfect to start your day off. And here we go. Pitt, the backyard brawl, Pitt at West Virginia. West Virginia is now -7. So after Pitt losing, after West Virginia losing to Ohio, this line has moved 2 points. So kind of hard to pick here. I would definitely stay away from this game. The backyard brawl is crazy. Shout out Moneyline Mac. Don't get arrested. It's going to be wild in West Virginia. Who do you have here, Fitz? You taking the points with West Virginia? Or are you going with Pitt here?
Yeah, one of my favorite rivalries in college football. I wonder how many people care about this rivalry. Like Pittsburgh used to be in the AC, or the Big East.
Big East. This is like Big East, yeah.
With Virginia Tech. West Virginia used to be a huge rival back in the day. So this is just a game that I've always really enjoyed. I think Pittsburgh is better, but it's at West Virginia. It's Rich Rod. FanDuel has it at 7 and a hook. For this, I'll still take the 7. I will bet 7.5 West Virginia. I don't think, they struggled last week, obviously losing to Ohio. But I don't think they cared about it that much as they care about this game. So give me the Mountaineers.
What do you say, Denny? What do you say?
Yeah, it's a very tough game to cap. I'm with Fitz. Like I think in a rivalry game, I think 7 points is a lot. If it was 6.5, you might find me leaning Pittsburgh, but at 7, I think I'm just going to take the points, take West Virginia. I'm much more impressed with Pittsburgh so far than West Virginia, but 7's a lot in a rivalry game.
And that's all I need to say. It is West Virginia getting a touchdown at home, coming off a bad loss. I think they were looking forward to this game. I mean, Ohio got them in a trap game, and now West Virginia, I think, with Rich Rod back, I think this game is going to be nuts. I think West Virginia might be able to win this game outright. I'm not going to bet it. I'm not going to put money line. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised, but I will take West Virginia with you guys. And that makes me and Fitz 4 for 4. This can't be good.
Uh-oh.
This can't be good. Are we going to go 5 for 5? Let's go to our toilet bowl game.
We're getting different here.
Let's go to our toilet bowl game. The team I've been picking on all year, Stanford. We got Boston College at Stanford. Stanford is plus 12.5. This has moved from 10.5 to 12.5. I've been picking on Stanford. They got blown out by Arizona, blown out by BYU. Andrew Luck, the general manager, is in trouble here. I know Fitz is probably going to talk about this. In the offseason, he went out, fired the coach, and he got a familiar face. And I'll let Fitz talk about that. And I just have to think that familiar face is doing this as like a courtesy and is like, get me the hell out of here. So for me, it is Boston College. I will pick on Stanford all year. They stink. S-T-I-N-K, stink. They will not cover all year. They lost to Hawaii. Okay, they lost to Hawaii. Boston College coming off a hard overtime loss to Michigan State. I get it. But they're coming in, and they're going to be feeling good against Stanford here. Denny, who you got here?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything in Stanford yet that resembles life. I think Andrew Luck will get them going at some point, a little better than they're going now, but it's not right now. Boston College laying 12. That's a lot of points for BC to lay. Not the most explosive of teams, but I am not taking Stanford until I see something that resembles life. So give me Boston College.
How about you, Fitz?
Yeah, originally I was on Boston College, and then I remembered Frank Wright was the coach at Stanford, and Bill O'Brien is the coach in Boston College. Mm-hmm. Where are those guys coach? The NFL, in the AFC South. So I had to do some digging on see what kind of records they had against each other.
You go. He's going.
And it's pretty even. Frank Wright edges them out in 5 games, 3-2.
Okay.
I believe with the playoff win, if I'm not mistaken. But Frank is 5-0 against the spread against Billy.
Oh, baby.
So I'm gonna flop. I'm gonna flip here, and I'm gonna go Stanford.
Just
to
awful.
cover the 12.5.
They're so bad. But
I mean, if you're not handicapping college football games based on coaching performances in the pros 3, 4, 5 years ago, then
Can I guess Frank?
What are you doing?
Can I guess Frank Reich and Bill O'Brien's combined win percentage in the NFL? I'm gonna guess it at 37%.
Frank Wright had a couple of good years.
I think his is higher than Bill's.
Yeah, I would
Well,
think
actually, no, but he probably had good years with the Texans. You always win, like, you go like 9-7 every year, right?
Did he? I don't
The
know.
Texans are like contractually obligated to go 9-7 every year.
I just
Yeah,
think of
8
them.
and 8.
I just think of them as bad NFL coaches
Yeah.
in my brain. But I'll Google that while you're talking.
All right, let's move on to upset of the week. Who is your super dog of the week? What underdog are you going to be taking? And gentlemen, really good week last week. 2 wins and a push, so we will take that. Denny with Baylor plus 2.5 got the outright win. UConn for me, God, that just sucks. Got the push. That sucks. Only got me a point. And then Fitz, Boston College covered. Didn't win outright, so you get some points there. So to map it out, Duke is at 10.5 points because you got the outright win plus the cover. You get a point for a push, so I have 1. And then Fitz, for covering, you get 5 points. So it is Duke in the lead at 10.5, Fitz at 5, and myself at 1. So we will start with the person in last. That's me. Okay, I'm heading to I can't wait to watch this game. Is this a rivalry? I don't even know. Florida Atlantic versus Florida International. What a game. Pitbull Stadium.
They're all at the record books.
Let's go. I'm going to take the points here. Florida Atlantic, I just think is the better football team. I know it's an away game, but they are dogs. They have the better quarterback in Veltkamp, who's pretty good. I know he threw 4 picks against Maryland, but that is uncharacteristic. Won't happen again. And they lost to Maryland 39-7, but with 4 picks, Maryland had a short field every time, and that's not bad. That's not terrible on the the defense. Not terrible to look at when you're looking at the analytics. Like, the defense actually played pretty well, having the Veltkamp had 4 picks. So watch out for Assad Wasim. This wide receiver is really good. A lot of good weapons on offense. Give me the points with Florida Atlantic. Fitz, you're in second. Who you going with? I like this pick. I didn't want to copy you, though.
Diego. I got to go with Vandy here, getting 5.5 versus South Carolina solely for the reason that they have, mutual opponents in
do.
Virginia Tech. And obviously,
I didn't even think of
what
that.
Vanderbilt did to Virginia Tech as a true road game.
Jesus.
I mean, Tech played pretty well the first half, right?
They were winning 20-10.
But then just absolutely
Took
beat
their
the brakes.
soul. Took
Yeah.
their
I'm
soul.
done.
I still blame I text you, Duke. I mean, I still blame that punt. You can't punt on 4th and a foot there.
Let
If
me
you're
tell
Pry.
I have been a biggest Tech hater because I'm a big UVA fan. But I gave Tech a chance this year. Took them against South Carolina, bet them. Couldn't cover that. Couldn't score a touchdown. Drones is freaking awful. Then I take Tech in cover 5 as a pick'em game. At home. Prime time. 7 p.m. Enter Sandman. Revenge game from last year against Vanderbilt. 20-10. Looks good. Halftime. I'm going to be honest. I went to bed feeling good. I wake up and it's 44-20. They didn't score a freaking point in the second half. Can you actually give me a breakdown of the second half? The drone's horrible. Pride needs to be. I was like, fire Pride immediately. How does this happen?
I mean,
It's
probably
like a
has to-
$6 million buyout, which Tech
Who
cannot afford.
cares?
So they can't afford it. So
Yeah, I mean, the
Jesus
second
Christ.
half, Vandy barely got touched running the ball. A lot of explosive plays.
Well, I heard a lot of injuries too played a factor on your O line.
Sure,
Yeah.
a couple. Yeah, we couldn't do anything on offense. We couldn't tackle anybody on defense. It was as bad as you can imagine in that second half.
Oh, thank you. All right, look at this service. Every time we
all right, so
pod, just great
Fitz-
service.
Fitz, you are taking Vandy
I'm
as your
taking Vandy.
lock of the week.
Yeah, South Carolina didn't impress me all that much, and Vandy that's a tough offense to game plan for, in my opinion. So I think they can win this game. I think they'll certainly cover 5.5.
Diego Pavia never quits. I'll tell you that,
I love
man.
him.
They were down 20-10.
He's the
He was
best.
sitting there just fighting and gashing. I love that dude a lot.
I am going to bet Vandy as well. That's going in the books. Ship it. Like that pick a lot. All right, Denny, here you go. Going with a 1.5 point dog.
Yeah,
I think
I
that
am.
line's moved to a 0.5 point. You sure you got 1.5?
I locked it in today.
Okay.
About 3 hours ago. So Duke, as we know, last week lost the turnover margin 5-0. So the scoreboard looked a lot worse than the actual metrics of the game looked. And I think when that happens, the general public sees that score and the line overreacts a bit. They are getting 1.5 at Tulane. Tulane has not looked that impressive. I still like Tulane long-term this year, but they haven't looked impressive yet. They barely squeaked by a lesser South Alabama team last week, 33-31. Duke needs a win here. This is the Mensa Bowl. Tulane quarterback Mensa transferred to Duke this year. I think they have a better quarterback. They need a win. And then their metrics just stack up a little bit better than Tulane. So I see Duke kind of eking out a field goal win here.
Like that one, too. And to be honest, you both put your picks in before mine, so I had to be different. But I like both your picks better than mine, for the record.
Okay, good to
So,
know.
Duke
good
flip,
picks.
by the way.
I will take Duke money line. I'm taking Duke money line.
Yeah.
I think Tulane stinks. Also,
Duke is now a 1.5 point favorite.
Since this morning?
what?
I would love to see this.
Denny, their favorite.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
that you don't get it. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you that for
So I'm-
betting purposes.
so I'm 3
that-
points right.
Asterisk.
Is what you're saying. I believe
Doesn't
you.
count. Doesn't count.
I believe
Pick
you.
again. All right, let's get into the locks of the week. We riding. Here we go. Actually went 1 and 2. Definitely, be honest, could have easily been 3-0. Fitz had SMU and I had Cincinnati, and they both looked like locks. And then they both blew it. Terrible beats. And then on the flip side, Denny should have lost this one, but won because he wanted West Virginia, Ohio, but instead picked Miami, Ohio. Rutgers over, and that one. I said worst pick of the year, and it's the only lock that hit.
Thank you.
My guy.
Thank you.
All right, so I will start it off. I am going to go. I can't believe I'm saying this, but love the number. UAB, minus 10.5 against Akron. UAB, got to say, look pretty good against Navy. I know they have one of the worst defenses in the country, but their offense is pretty damn good, and Akron stinks. Guess how many points Akron has scored in the first 2 weeks, gentlemen?
9.
6.
0.
Okay.
0 points. 0 points. Haven't scored, and they didn't score in week 1, and they didn't score in week 2. They will score 14 points because UAB defense is bad, but UAB is going to put up a 40 burger. 40-14 is what I have here. UAB minus 10.5. Good offense. Defense will do just enough. They'll let up a couple touchdowns. They'll let Akron score their first points, but Akron stinks. And Denny's going to talk about the other MAC team that stinks. Bet against both these teams every week. Let's go. Denny?
Yeah,
go
I'm
ahead.
taking the Buffalo Bulls, laying 21.5 at Kent State. Kent State is the 190th best team in the country. And so that means they're worse than quite a few Division II teams. Kent State will not be able to run the ball. They're running a 2-quarterback system. By not being able to run the ball, it's going to put too much pressure on both these quarterbacks who aren't ready. Buffalo's QB will be able to move the ball by air and with his feet against this Kent State defense. I think that this is a bloodbath. So give me the Bulls laying 21.5. And then just as a note, Duke, you're right. Duke is a 1.5-point favorite. Do you want me to go back and change my underdog
No.
to somebody else?
I was kidding. I was kidding.
I'm happy to. All right.
Definitely kidding. They were a dog probably when you got it. So
That was more for Gray when he said he wants Duke money line. I was like,
yeah,
you might,
I can't take them now.
Yeah, you might just take
It's
the
just
points
a pass
now.
for me now. But maybe it comes back. I don't know. All right, Fitz. I think your thing deleted here. Do you remember?
Yeah, no, it didn't delete. I just didn't put it in a pick. But my pick will be another big total: Ole Miss versus Arkansas.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
62.5. I'm gonna take the over.
A lot of points.
Too high tempo again. Just go with the offenses, right? High tempo. Bobby Petrino running the offense for Arkansas versus Lane Kiffin. I don't know who calls the plays at Ole Miss, but they always. I feel like Ole Miss just scores, right?
Yeah, they so fast. The Simmons kid, who's their quarterback, did get banged up, but is good to go. They just took him out for a precaution.
Yeah.
But he's good to go this
Ole Miss
week.
defense struggling a little bit, not as good as it was last year. So yeah, I like that number, 62.5.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't hate any of y'all's picks this week. Is that a good thing or a bad
Well,
thing?
it worked out. It worked
out.
out for me last week when you
Yeah.
hated my pick, so I would love some tension.
I actually bet I bet Buffalo. You got 21.5.
It just dropped. Yeah, it was
I
22.5.
I went with 22.5.
Yeah.
So good on you there. It's just blowout city in the MAC this year. All right, so Fitz, go ahead and type that in. So to recap, our locks: UAB minus 10.5, Buffalo minus 21.5. I got minus 22.5, so I would take that too. Ole Miss, Arkansas over 62.5 are our locks. Some other teams that we like this week is we like Duke. Duke got them at plus 1.5, but they are now favorites. We like Florida Atlantic. We like Vanderbilt a lot as well. Do you guys have anything to add about Week 3? Go South Florida Bulls.
Yeah, I look forward to going to Gray's, having some drinks, and we're gonna leave Colin and Stuckey a voicemail this weekend. Yeah,
okay.
you should be if you're there. We
Yeah,
can do it
I'll
together.
be there for that.
That'll be fun. All right, we will see you guys later. Hope you do well this week on your college football picks, and leave Graybo's Giblets a 5-star review. We'll see you.
Giblets. As we watch Kyle Pitts just manhandle somebody.
We got to move that in the car.